I wanted to make this video for the person who wants to start their fitness journey but is struggling to start. I have a client right now who signed up for a block of 10 personal training sessions, and we've probably used about five of them in the space of a 10-week period. Now, this person is really struggling with their weight and they're really struggling to get past some old habits. I am talking to this type of person. If you have some old lifestyle habits that you're trying to change and some things that are negative that are keeping you in negative patterns, they are things that are disrupting the rest of your life, and you know you need to get healthy, but you just can't seem to stick to it. I want you to think about focus. Now, prioritizing training over anything else and prioritizing changing your life sounds super easy when you're sat on the side of someone who goes to train because it's part of his lifestyle. The lifestyle that I have means that I cannot function correctly unless I train. Like, I have realized recently that when my training is good, I feel better in myself and everything else flows from that. It's almost like you can't pour from an empty cup. So for me, the training tops up my cup and allows me to be the person I am and allows me to kind of move forward in the way that I need to move forward and be the person I need to be. Now, I think the biggest unlock is for someone who's struggling to make that first initial change is to really start to play out the story of what happens if you do not make this change. And I really mean this. And I think that people just don't play it out enough because the short term thinking is what keeps most people stuck where they are. Whereas if you can elongate your time frame of when you think about goals and think about issues and think about you as a person, then you get to adjust the way that you look at this problem. So the reason most people can't commit is because they haven't seen enough rewards from making the change in the first place. So if you want to make a change in your lifestyle, you want to make a change to your routine, you want to make a change to your habits, but you cannot make that change, chances are is because making that change currently, or the little changes that you have made, because you haven't fully committed to them, you haven't got the rewards from them to be able to give you enough positive kind of affirmation to keep moving forward. So it's one of those things where you literally have to put the cart in front of the horse for a while. You have to fake it until you make it. You need to be able to work for a long enough period of time without a reward to be able to then get the reward in the future. Because every single time I come back to thinking about an outcome and thinking about a goal, I always have to remind myself to think of the inputs and the things I need to do in order to get that goal. There is pointless me sitting and thinking about something I would like unless I'm willing to do the work in order to get there. And I do think this comes from the fact that people just automatically feel like they're going to fail. Like they try things, they don't get past a certain point, and they go, "What's the point?" And I think this is where commitment to a specific goal for a long period of time needs to come in, and that word focus is coming back. So I spent 2 years basically focusing on fitness and focusing on trying to achieve fitness goals. I spent 6 months truly focused on everything within my lifestyle, being focused around the bodybuilding competition. I am now in a period where I want to really focus on my work. Okay. Yes, my training helps me to flow into my work and gives me what I need from helping me de-stress, helping me feel like I've won when I've gone through the day, helping me feel like I'm good as a person. Like when I think about being able to progress my work, I need to be in the right mental state, which means I need two things, which is one, I need to challenge myself physically and I need to move my body and to feel like I'm progressing with my body. And I need to feel like I'm progressing mentally. So I need to read or do some kind of education to feel like I'm moving forward. If I feel like I'm moving forward in those two aspects, that quells the feeling of not being good enough. And then that allows me to push more within the work. For you, but because I'm in a period of work right now, it means that my work takes priority over my training, which means if I need to skip a session or I need to think about the way that my day plans out. Originally, I would set my day up so I would train when it was optimal for me to train based upon my training, not when was the correct time for me to train based on my work. Whereas now, when I look at my day, I first plan out the things I need to do within my day from a work perspective, and the training comes later, or I train early in the morning, so then I can work throughout the rest of the day. And I think the lesson that I'm trying to teach here, and the thing which has helped me the most, is 6 months of 6 months of controlled, intense focus on one thing will give you better and bigger results than spreading your focus out over a 10-year period of time. I think you could do more in 6 months of serious focus on one goal and committing your whole life around that goal. You will do more damage in those 6 months, and you will create yourself into such a weapon and such a person that you couldn't even recognize, because you've put the focus and energy into one place. Getting something is hard, maintaining something is easy. Getting a lot of muscle, really hard. Maintaining muscle, super, super easy. Creating fat loss, really, really hard. Maintaining physique, super, super easy. And this is where you need to start to really check your priorities. And you really do need to do that. And it needs to be this thing where you don't give up, because when you try to make a change, your old habits are going to try and kick back in more and more and more, and you're going to struggle over and over again to actually make the change. You're going to really struggle, because the boys are going to call you, come out for a pint, when you're trying to not drink. You're trying to focus on your life. You're trying to focus on being a healthy person. Oh, just come to the pub, like it's great weather. You could find any excuse to go and do that thing. But one thing you've got to remember, and I'm a prime example of this, and this isn't to take away anything from anyone who lives the lifestyle that they want to live it. I think if you want to live your life any way you want to live it, disclaimer, go and do that. And I think, and I support you, and not even just support, I really admire the fact that you're just like, this is how I want to live my life. But what I found was, I could take a step away from drinking for 6 months, a year, 3 years. I cannot socialize for a period of time. There's still going to be someone at the pub. There's still going to be those chances to go out and get drunk. There's still going to be those chances to go. There will always be someone doing something, right? And that, you don't miss those opportunities. You really don't, because they are so common and they happen so often that once you get to your goal, you can just drop straight back into those things. I just think of it is in I always think of it in three different frames. The first frame is, I want to lead from the front, and I want people who believe that they cannot do something. I want to be proof that they can. Okay, so whenever I decide that I'm going to do something, one of the thoughts that goes through my brain is, the person who is struggling to make this change, if they see the progress that I make, they might be able to do that as well. The second frame is, I want to feel like I am always progressing and I'm being the best version of me. So if I know what I need to do to be the best version of me, then I'm only going to take my advice on that. And I am only going to do the path which I think is correct for me. I'm not going to listen to my friends. I'm not going to listen to people saying, oh, just come and do this, come and do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to focus on the thing that I want to do. The third frame is always the one that I come back to, which is, when you look back over your life, what are you going to think about it? And I think there is, I've been thinking about balance within this, because the argument people will make is, you need to be balanced. And it's like, one, balance doesn't mean that you need to be balanced every day or week or month or year. You could be balanced over a 10-year period of time. But I think what balance is for each individual is finding the right amount of discipline to keep you moving towards your goals, which quells the feeling that you aren't good enough and that you aren't doing enough, because you always have that voice telling you you're not doing enough. Whereas if you are moving towards your goal and you are doing enough of that, that feeling goes away. And you need enough fun within your life to top up the cup and the bank account that you pull from when you are disciplined. The amount is different for different people, and I think over time it changes. The more you realize that what you were doing is harming you, and what you want to be doing and the path you want to take is going to improve your life. One of my clients lost 40 kilos, and one of the best habits that he's picked up is he's journaling. Every day he writes a to-do list of the things he needs to do. Every week he's got a plan of what he needs to do. He knows how much money he's going to save each week when he gets paid. He knows how many steps he's going to do. He knows how many calories he's going to eat. He knows when he's going to train. He's got it written out, 6 a.m. train. I then go to work. I then meal prep. He's got it all written out in a diary. It seems really simple and it seems really silly, but it's one of the biggest habits that we get him to kick back into, because when he does that, he's focused and he's engaged in the process. You need to be focused and you need to be engaged, and you need to sacrifice some things that you don't necessarily want to sacrifice right now in order to get the goal that you want in the future. I think that 6 months of hard focused work on one thing and putting it as your priority could change your life forever. My name's Charlie. This is Hat the Body, Hat the Mind. I will see you on the next one. If you are new here, I am trying to help and improve people's mental health. If you are new here, my name's Charlie. If you are new here to Hat the Body, Hat the Mind, my mission is to help people to not feel so alone, to not feel worthless, and to feel like they have the power to change their life. I know so many people who need to try to understand themselves a little bit more because they struggle with their mental health. Or I know people that their vices, the things that they do to kind of that have them that they don't really know control their life, that they need to change, and that comes from the self-awareness. And I got so many people that physically changing their body would help them feel better, and that's what I've been doing with my clients, and that's what I want to do with this YouTube channel. So if this helps you, subscribe to the channel. We try to do a live every week. Please come and join us. The goal again is to help people. So if you know someone who is stuck in a rut, struggling to move forward and struggling to make a change, and they need a little bit of support and hopefully a little bit of motivation, a little bit of inspiration, and a little bit of guidance, then please send them over to my channel. Thank you so much. Again, my name's Charlie. This is Hat the Body, Hat the Mind. We'll see you on the next one.